Hello everybody, how are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and before we get started on today's episode, I want to say go to the platform wherever you listen to podcasts, however you get podcasts. I want you to go. I want you to subscribe. So that way you can get the daily shows, the bonus episodes. You'll be the first one to receive all this goodness that we have to offer. Also, go to the same place and give us 5 stars because we all know you love this podcast, all right? Once again, thanks in advance. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is episode 147 of the University of Love award-winning, hard-hitting podcast, Online Marketing Moves. We are coming to you live today. Live, I say, from the great state of Ohio, the Buckeye State. You know what's great about Ohio? Leaving Ohio, okay? Anyway, today we are going to talk about Beyoncé and her marketing prowess, okay, everybody? Now, every now and then in the podcast, we will spotlight somebody that does great things with marketing. And today, we're going to spotlight Beyoncé. Now, I've done some research on this topic, so bear with me. Let me tell you something. In 2013, Beyoncé dropped an album titled, it's all in caps, so I'm going to say it loud, Beyoncé, okay? She dropped the album, and it was like midnight or something like that. And I remember it was a secret. It's so secretive, I had to look it up and see when she dropped it. But anyway, she dropped it, and I believe by 2013, I'm pretty positive by 2013, all these albums go to, like, you know, the Spotify's, the titles, and all this kind of stuff. So she dropped the album. She probably came out with a video. People went crazy, you know, and people enjoyed it. People loved it. Her fan base, known as the Beehive, they probably went crazy. They all gathered around. It was like bzz, 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 bzz. It's all buzzed together. I'm just kidding, but she dropped the album, and that's good because it's not like in the old days when I was growing up, or when you was growing up, how, like, I give an example. I remember the times, Michael Jackson, it was a big deal. They was like, coming tonight at 7:37, it's going to be the world premiere of, you know, Remember the Times. And then, you know, me and my family sat around and watched it. You know, these are the days long before DVRs and everything like that. So a lot of people, if you wanted to catch a TV show, you had to be there at a certain time to watch a TV show. So a lot of people gathered around, a lot of people watch, you know, Remember the Times. But it's a different time these days. People don't really sell albums; they just upload them. So to upload one, your fan base is not expecting, it's a great thing. It creates more of a buzz for you, you know, and it's of course, you create the album, and then later on, you can always go on tour with that album. So it's generating money. That's keeping your fan base interested. And if you surprise them like that once, you'll do it again. And she has done that a couple more times over the last few years, you know. And like, what's the other thing she dropped? She dropped a. I've done my research, ladies and gentlemen. A documentary. We'll fast forward. A documentary about Coachella. Okay, she headlined Coachella one year. I remember this because it was a big deal. I heard it on the radio. She was going to headline Coachella. And so a smart marketing move she made was she filmed the whole process, basically. Filmed the whole process, did the Coachella, you know, made a deal with Netflix. And then she had a documentary about Coachella. And then alongside with the documentary, she dropped an album called Homecoming. I listened to a couple songs yesterday. And some of the songs were old songs, but, you know, it was like in concert form. Some of them was like a couple, you know, renditions of other songs, which is cool. So it was a whole mixed bag, you know. And the Coachella, filming the Coachella, doing the album with the Coachella, putting it on Netflix, that is what we like to call repurposing content, and that's what you should do. And that's another smart marketing move, because why not film? It's like if you always be thinking about how can you use your content over and over and over again. It's very smart. If you film the day in, day out, the dancing, the this, that, and the other, then that's brilliant. It's very smart. And it's the same thing she did with The Lion King, She did the Lion King movie. Lion King movie was but she was great. I thought she was very good in it. The movie itself, it is what it is. I mean, it's a remake, but it's a good way to. Of course, Disney. We'll get into Disney one day, but that's a smart move. Disney, they love to redo movies. But anyway, so she did the movie, and then she did the documentary. She had a couple songs, the Lion King songs. So she's great at repurposing her content. That's good. She's very good at dropping these secret albums and everything like that. And I give you another example of her dropping. I remember she was doing the Super Bowl, and the day before that, she dropped the song Formation. Dropped the video, the song. It was awesome. People went crazy for it. So, for one, you're keeping your fan base electrified, because they're like, I know Beyoncé hasn't come out with a new song in a while, but at any time, it's anticipation. You are getting people anticipated. You are getting people excited. You have people on edge, and you are keeping people, what's the word I'm looking for? You're keeping them, keeping their head on the swivel. Like, what is she gonna do next? What's gonna happen next? And then of course, she goes on. She did an album with her husband, and they made it into a whole. My wife went to one of these concerts. She said it was like a movie or something like that. They did a whole lot of acting out. It was very, grandioso. And then my wife said one thing that she enjoyed about her concert was she did it in Atlanta, and she brought out people that were from Atlanta. So it got the crowd even more excited, because I got to see people that's from Atlanta. It's like, oh, look at that. And I guess I'm assuming she did that for all the different cities, So it's a whole mixed bag of, marketing. It's a whole mixed bag of marketing goodness with the whole Beyoncé, with the whole Beyoncé brand, You got albums dropping, and then some of this doesn't cost you as a fan sometimes, One thing about when you do build an audience, you gain an audience. Everything you don't have to sell everything, Everything doesn't have to be, for sale. I mean, like, I know you're paying for the streaming service already, so if she drops an album, it's like, okay, it's like, ooh, I'm glad I got, Spotify, whatever. She dropped the album, I could just download it like that, boom. And then, she comes out on tour. Of course, you're gonna pay for the tour. You pay for the ticket. My wife paid for, I don't know how much the ticket was. I don't ask a lot of questions when it comes to that, but I'm sure it was a pretty penny, because it was her and her husband, who's a pretty good draw himself. So, it's like, all right, I gave you the album, you liked that, you enjoyed that. Now come to the concert. At the concert, you're gonna most people are gonna be like, ooh, let me buy a $40 t-shirt, So there's a mixed bag of, content that you might not have to buy. There's things that she's gonna say that you buy, It's a whole mixed bag that you can enjoy, from this person. And she repurposes content, uses it again and again, drops albums, and then she does the she comes back sometimes with the old group. I'm sure. I was gonna last night honestly, when I was doing some research about this whole marketing with Beyonce, and this is just a touch of the surface. We could get deep into it, but one of these days we'll go back and get all into it. But I was doing research and I was like, should I explain that she was in the group Destiny's Child? I was like, some people you really don't have to explain who they are. It's like the woman has 158 million followers on Instagram. If I had to explain to you who Beyonce is, then maybe you're just like a baby or something. I don't know, but 99.9% of people know. You don't have to know any songs. Nobody's saying that, but you know the name. You know what I mean? So I was like, should I do a whole background? It's like, who the F don't know Beyonce? Come on, pal. You know what I mean? Like, other people, I'll probably have to do more of a background, but I'm like, for today, no. But she goes back sometimes, and she does Destiny Child stuff with her friends, her co-workers, her bandmates, however you want to put that. And that's always cool, and then that gives people nostalgia, and people are like, oh, I love Destiny Child. I wish they would do an album, blah, 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 blah. So the whole marketing thing with Beyonce, from the secret albums to the dropping on the Netflix, doing the Disney Plus, that was a whole big deal. Everything. I will sum this up, and then we will go. It's like there's still a mystery, that's always a good thing. It's curiosity when it comes to Beyonce. That's what I'm looking for. It's curiosity. You're a fan of hers, you know her, but it's like, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know, what's going on. You know the woman, but you don't know the woman. There's a curiosity. There's a mystery to it all. You know what I mean? And that is like what you want. It's like when you do copywriting. You want curiosity in your copywriting. You want people to go, oh, now I'm more curious. You want people to get curious. You want to stoke up the fire inside of people that for what you are selling, what you are telling. You want people to raise an eyebrow and be like, I wonder what that is. And Beyonce does an excellent job when it comes to getting people curious, trying to figure out what she's got going on, trying to figure out what she's doing, And that's because you don't want people. It's like this morning. I give you an example. This morning I saw, for some reason, I enjoy comic book movies. I like comic book movies. But for some reason, not me, but all these other comic book people, they want to know every little detail about the movie. And it's like, who cares? Why do I want to know every detail about the movie? I'm the type of person. I don't know about you, but I just like to be surprised when I go to the movies and I watch a movie. I don't need to know, who's gonna be in the movie, who's gonna make a cameo, who's doing this, who's doing that. I give you a great example. It's like cartoon movies now. They always got to tell you whose voice it is. Why do I give an F if Will Smith is voicing this cartoon? I'm here to watch the movie. I mean, I like Will Smith, but I don't care if his voice is a parrot or whatever, I mean, really, it's like, of course, sometimes like a voice just fits a character great. It's like when Eddie Murphy did the donkey in Shrek. Like, you can't imagine anybody else being that donkey but Eddie Murphy, because Eddie Murphy is freaking hilarious. But still, maybe if somebody else would have did it, maybe it would have been the same. Maybe it would have been good. Who knows? But and plus, you wouldn't have to tell me that the voice was Eddie Murphy, because I'm a fan of Eddie Murphy. So come on. But anyway, these superhero, these comic book movies, people want to know every effing detail. And it's like, what's the curiosity? It's like, if I know that the whole movie, why go to the movie? What's the point? But getting back to the original thought. Beyonce does a great job when it comes to curiosity. It comes to the mystery. She does a great job because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what she's going to do next. The marketing is top notch. So everybody give her a round of applause. And let's all hope that we can have the marketing prowess of Beyonce, you know. All right? Anyway, that's it. The Beyonce marathon's over with. It's only 15 minutes today. Eventually, you know, as this podcast goes on and on, we might go longer with all this, with these people and their marketing. But today, sum it all up: Beyonce, marketing, I think curiosity, because you never know what's gonna drop. You never know what's gonna hit. You never know what she's gonna do next. I always get a hint of mystery and curiosity about, you know, the woman and her, you know, when she's gonna drop the CDs and all that kind of stuff. So it's great. Curiosity. And if you get curiosity in your emails, you get curiosity in your copywriting, in your ad, whatever you want to do, curiosity, you're hitting on something. All right? But that's it for today. That's the podcast. Of course, we will be back tomorrow with another episode of the podcast. And now, I will say, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, what are you waiting on? We're going to be uploading these podcasts on the YouTube. We're going to be creating more content on the YouTube. So be a fan of the podcast, but also please go to YouTube, Tony Rizzano, click and subscribe and check it out. And the videos will be just as great as this podcast. But until we meet again tomorrow, my name is Tony Rizzano. Podcast name, Online Marketing Moves, and we will see you later. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I say to you, peace.